Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube or rather booktube channel. So today I'll be reviewing some books. Here's the stack, the books that I've read in the last month. So here's the stack. Anyway, let's start reviewing them. I'll start from lowest review to highest review. So the first book is The Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud. So this book is mainly about Nathaniel. He was sold by his parents when he was really young, like 5 years, to a powerful magician because they saw his magical steps and they had to get their coin, obviously. Anyway, so he's 5 years, they send him to a powerful magician who is one of the many that rule Britain's magical empire. He is sold to Arthur Underwood, a cold, conceding, and cruel man, a middle-ranking magician. So he gets embarrassed at some point by another magician, that is Nathaniel, and he wants revenge. He's like, I can't take this bullshit and all that. So he's like angry and all that. So he employs the hand of a genie who is 5,000 years his age. So the genie is called Bartimaeus. That's why it's called the Bartimaeus trilogy. So the genie helps him in whatever he wants to do, and it's just basically a wholesome thing because the genie is on his side, but he can't trust the genie. So he employs the skills of the genie. Then they are broken apart for a time, then they get back together. So that's the story. And he devours magical texts, as in he wants to basically get revenge on this man who embarrassed him. So he reads magical texts, he tries rituals, and that's how, by way of rituals, that's how he gains, or rather acquires, the genie. So that's the main synopsis for that. I won't spoil it for you because I want you to read it and enjoy it. Anyway, the second book is The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives. So this book, I gave it 2.5 stars because it was so predictable. Whatever was happening was yeah, I could see that coming. So anyway, because honestly, the main plot point for there being a secret it was just transparent. You could just see through it. If you're a reader, you'll just see through it. Anyway, they try and end the husband, which is it's a would-be shocker, but it's not a shock at all. You knew that would happen. But anyway, I appreciate it because it's African based, Nigerian that is, and it's a good book through and through, but I enjoyed it even with its quirks and whatever. I enjoyed it nonetheless. I won't say it's a horrible book. No, it's a good book. Like, you should actually read it. Yeah. So that's the secret lives of Babasagi's wives. 2.5 stars. So I have another book, Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I've read some of her works and she's a great author. And in this book, it didn't give me what I expected from it. It was a bit lackluster. So it's about a girl called Agnieszka. There's this magician who comes to town every 10 years because there's the wood, and the wood is a risky and dangerous place. So this magician comes and picks a girl, stays with her for 10 years. Then after that, most of the girls leave the town for some reason, which I don't actually know. I hope there was a book too, but the other book by him is Spinning Silver, of which I know it won't be anything related to this book. But anyway, after 10 years, they come changed and they leave the village. So they come in a way that, like, as in their mindset, their, like, everything is just changed about them. So many of the girls who get picked have magical ability. So Agnieszka gets picked, and she didn't think that she would get picked over her friend, but she gets picked anyway. And when the magician says, I pick this girl, that's just the end of it. Like, this girl is going with me for 10 years plus, and that's just it. The villagers accept that, so they don't suffer any, like, catastrophes or anything. So Agnieszka goes, and little did we know, she falls in love with the, like, with that man, like, as in the magician and whatever. She falls in love with him, and their romance is, like, kind of problematic because this man kidnapped her. So the best thing, like, the best explanation I have is Stockholm syndrome. She was used to living in such a slum that when she gets to a place that's really cool and beautiful, it's like Beauty and the Beast to an extent. Anyway, the next book is The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. If you're in this channel and you don't know, I adore Robert Jordan's work, especially The Wheel of Time. So this is the third book in The Wheel of Time. So it's a series. So I'd read book 2 in the series, which was a good one. I can't complain. And certainly, like, the third book didn't give me like, what would I call it, middle book syndrome. Yeah, it didn't give me like middle book syndrome, because so many books, you start the first one, then on the second one you're like, is this the same author? Then the third one you're like, oh, so we've come back. That's what happens with many books. But anyway, this one didn't give me like middle book syndrome, and it's a tribute to Robert Jordan and him being a great author, because it was fast-paced. The world was like, the world building, it was crazy. Like, it's Robert Jordan, so like the world building will just be great, no question. Anyway, it was fast. The build up was, because it built up to something, so like the build up was great. I didn't mind it, loved it actually. But it was meh, like we found out about the Dark Friends and Fane and all who threatened the Dragon Reborn. The last fight though, like, it was epic. As in, reading it from the page, I was just like visualizing it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome, period. Anyway, the fight scene was mind-blowing and really cool, but it had sort of a repetition or predictability. Like, it was so predictable that you could see it from a mile away. Like, I know this is what is going to happen, and it happens. So it was a bit predictable, but I still love the series. I'm going to continue on with it, because some of the books that I've mentioned here, I won't ever go back and read the second or third book. I won't, because they didn't give, honestly. So we delve deep into the spiral, like, as in, it was a 3-star book for me, but not 3-star in a bad way, but like 3-star in a, it's nice, like it stopped here. Yeah. Anyway, the last book I read was The Great Hunt, and that's basically my book review. If you've stayed till this long, thank you. So, as usual, the notification bell, subscribe, leave a comment, leave your likes, and I promise you, every comment that I read, I will respond to. We can even be friends, but like, every comment that I read, I shall respond to. Anyway, I love you guys, and remember, reading is fundamental, darling.